Darling Island, Millers Point, Circular Quay, all elements of the state capital of New South Wales in Australia. Welcome to Sydney. This modern brash city was the site of the first British colony in Australia and today has the highest population of the world's smallest continent. It's also one of the most multicultural cities in the world and so is often mistaken as the capital of Australia, which of course is Canberra. Sydney is the most expensive city in Australia, and with its warm summers from October to March, it becomes a playground for the world's jet-set travelers seeking fun, sun, and barbecues on the beach. As always on this series, we join some lucky couples and share their experiences in some of the world's finest hotels. Hotels that go beyond a 5-star grading. Hotels that are really special. To find that quality of hotel in Sydney, we have chosen the Observatory Hotel. Right in the heart of the city, this hotel is geared for romance, business, and even family holidays. Children, for example, are given goldfish for the rooms for the duration of their stay. And there is a wide range of rooms. So let's give you the world-class grand tour. This boutique hotel, all spacious and elegant. The suites with custom-made furniture, antique fireplaces, and polished mahogany. In the bedroom, a magnificent 4-poster bed with hand-carved posts and decorated in rose petals awaits honeymoon couples, or is available simply on request. If 4-poster beds aren't your style, then choose a junior suite with a relaxed sitting area of comfy sofas and full-sized armchairs. Most of the suites have balconies with views of the harbor or the city. But what really sells the hotel are its leisure facilities. This is the Observatory Spa Club, completely complimentary for guests. It is equipped with a gym, whirlpool, sauna, and steam rooms. Here you can book some of the most relaxing treatments in town, from full-bodied massages to this volcanic stone therapy. Or how about being energized and nourished from head to toe with a skin caviar cream massage? Why not simply relax under the twinkling stars of the Southern Hemisphere, recreated by fiber optics in this magnificent domed ceiling above the pool? The hotel prides itself on being a home away from home. Its public areas avoid the harshness often found in a hotel environment. And thanks to the colonial history of Sydney, the great British traditions are upheld in the city. This is a popular venue in the city. The lower corridors often echo with locals enjoying 5-star cuisine at parties and weddings. With the relaxed ambience within the hotel, you should be well prepared for sightseeing and perhaps a little adventure. Adventure, of course, world-class style. This bird's-eye view is a great way to familiarize yourself with the town. We have booked a 20-minute trip with Sydney Seaplanes to the heart of the Ku-ring-gai Chase National Park for lunch. How's that for style? We have landed at a cottage restaurant called Point Inn in Cole and Candle Creek. The only way to arrive is by plane, boat, or, of course, simply in style.
The restaurant's been here for about 30 years. I've been here for 15 years of that. Over the summertime, some of the vessels you see are incredible. You know, on this sort of waterway, it doesn't matter what sort of vessel you've got. It could be a canoe or a 120-metre yacht. It's just as beautiful. It's totally different than running a restaurant, say, in town with 4 walls and a window out onto the street. People normally are happy when they arrive, so it's not too hard to make them that little bit happier and get some gratification from your work. And we try and keep the dishes fairly fresh, not too much overworking, not too many heavy sauces. And just keep it within seasonality as much as we can. Obviously with an emphasis on seafood, but we try and incorporate some game and meat dishes as well, so we hopefully keep as many people happy as possible.
For the more energetic, there are other ways of achieving a bird's-eye view. Try climbing the Sydney Harbour Bridge, for example. Just how high is it? Our guide Ralph Langley has the answer.
442 feet, a 40-storey building. That's how high we are. We're about, as we look down, 5.2 seconds above the water. Statistically, 2 climbers on every group will be seriously affected by height anxiety, but in our training we are trained very thoroughly to sort of look after folks. If we can get them up onto the arch and they feel secure between the handrails, solid steel about 3 metres wide, generally we can get them all the way around, and if we can do that, they're just over the moon. They're just taking themselves out of their comfort zone. It's just awesome. And that's the job satisfaction, seeing the expressions on their faces. It's just brilliant.
People just seem to love it up here.
Well, as you can hear, they're cheering. I don't know whether it's because they recognise me or they're just happy to be up here, but they absolutely do adore it. They're at the top of the bridge, and I mean, you'd have to be a hard marker not to be happy to be up here.
It's an incredible bridge, a huge structural achievement.
It was an achievement, 9 years to build, 1923 to 1932. A gentleman called Dr. John Bradfield lobbied for nearly 40-odd years to get the bridge up and running. He did many, many tours overseas, looking at bridges in the UK, in Europe, in America, to finally come up with this structure, this design, and to have the guile and resourcefulness to get it through all the legislative sort of situations that they needed was just amazing. The Eiffel Tower, folks, has 3 million rivets. The Harbour Bridge has 6 million rivets, twice as riveting as the Eiffel Tower. That's what we are.
The Sydney Bridge overlooks one of the most famous natural harbors in the world. Although the view is fantastic, the best way to observe it, of course, is by sea. So, go rent a yacht. Even if you have never taken the helm before, with a little tuition and a half an hour or so, you will be cruising at 15 knots with the salty wind in your hair. Why does it seem so easy here? Skipper Gary Taylor has been teaching for 20 years.
We've got hardly any tide here, we don't have fog. It's very, very clear in terms of rocks and so forth. You can sail around this harbour and go nowhere near any rocks, any shoals, any sandbars, nothing like that. It's magic place to sail. It doesn't take long with a skipper on board just to coach you as you go around the harbour. We're a Royal Yachting Association training or sailing school, so we can teach the same sort of program as they teach in England and all through the Med. And that will take a bit longer, but just to get you up and running on a nice relaxing day with a few beers and a bit of champagne, some chicken as you cruise around, 15 minutes, half an hour, and you'll be able to sail this boat. If you can sail yourself, it's a lot cheaper. If you take out one of our smaller boats, our smallest boat's about 33 feet Beneteau. Our biggest one's a 47-foot Beneteau. So it just ranges from about, say, $600 up to, depending on how many people you have, a couple of thousand. But the small boats are fine for like a couple. You can have up to 6 people, say. Really pleasant day on the harbour.
Time for a change of scene and some more self-indulgence. We have taken a 2-hour drive out of the hustle and bustle of the city to the Blue Mountains, named for the distinctive blue haze which is evident wherever you look. Some say this unique blue haze has been created by the rays of sunlight merging with the droplets of eucalyptus oil dispersed from the millions of eucalyptus trees. But in truth, it's simply particles within the atmosphere scattering the ultraviolet light when viewed over long distances. Sadly, the truth is rarely romantic. These sandstone rock plateaus, some with gorges 760 meters deep, reach, in some places, over 1,000 meters above sea level, making it a little cooler here in the height of the Australian summer. The Greater Blue Mountain area is vast, covering over 1 million hectares, and is mostly unnavigable. But here at Jameson Valley, there are great walking tracks and even a glass-bottomed railway car called the Scenic Skyway. But I think we've had enough of heights, don't you? Our accommodation is Lilienfels. Perched high on the cliff tops, it offers some of the best views of the valley. This 5-star hotel is a real country retreat, set in an historic country house amidst 2 acres of beautifully manicured gardens. It is a breathtaking escape for romantics, a delight for gourmets, and a wonder for lovers of nature, and of course, the Blue Mountains themselves. Lilienfels has won many awards, including the Best Boutique Hotel of the Year, as voted by the Australian Hotels Association in their national awards. In the comfort of these large and airy rooms, imagine opening your windows at night and sleeping with the cool, fresh mountain air. From crisp sheets and fluffy towels to the locally bottled mountain spring water, no detail has been overlooked. The rooms have views over the English-style gardens or of vast mountains and plunging valleys. Decorated in lush fabric, the sumptuous floral designs bring the outdoors in, inviting you to curl up and while the hours away. World Class has brought you here to see another award-winning spa. Their signature treatment is the mandarin, lime, and cranberry body scrub, designed to remove dead skin cells. Therapist Amanda Jones believes the treatment is an absolute must.
For one, we look at skincare, but it's much deeper than that. It's a holistic approach, so it also treats spiritual and emotional issues. Because of the aromatherapy base, it encompasses all of those things. So they actually come in for a real therapeutic treatment and experience, and they walk out completely different. The body mud treatment starts with an oil application, an aromatic oil, and then we sprinkle a salt, and that's a desert salt mixed with some of the Australian native bush plants. It has various properties. It can be either for a dry skin or for somebody who suffers from anxiety or a little bit high strung, it can be for that. Or we can also use one which is from the lemon myrtle gum tree, which is uplifting and invigorating. The body is very intuitive, it knows what we need. So when the client comes in for their treatment, we actually have all of the products arrayed on a tray for them, and they touch and smell and feel the product and choose which one they are actually attracted to, because the body's innate nature is to go for what it needs. So the client is really involved in the treatment as well, and they get to learn a lot about the Aboriginal culture and the Aboriginal people and the philosophy behind the product, as well as having a really amazing treatment.
So relaxed and rejuvenated, it's time to spend another day. Well, another day doing absolutely nothing. Go on, you deserve it. Simply unwind and let breakfast merge into afternoon tea. And then, because the food here is so special, why not let afternoon tea drift into your evening meal? Darley's restaurant has an old-fashioned and cozy feeling, and with its warm log fireplaces, dark wooden panels, stained glass windows, and crystal chandeliers, you could easily be in a stately English home. It's steeped in history, set in the heritage homestead of Frederick Darley, the 6th Chief of Justice of New South Wales, and so pays tribute to a bygone era. But it's the view at nighttime, and of course the food, that makes this restaurant so special. Executive chef Hugh Whitehouse grew up on a family farm, so his respect for fresh, local produce was developed at a young age. His choice seasonal ingredients are sourced locally from a network of growers in the Blue Mountains. It's a new day and time for more relaxing activities. More quality time by the pool. Or perhaps playing a little snooker instead of pool. It's a new day, and a very early start is required to see these guys deep in the valley. It's so wonderful to see them in the wild, as opposed to a zoo. The hotel concierge can arrange wildlife treks and four-wheel drives, with guides brimming with knowledge of the Blue Mountains wildlife. Guides like Reg Prowse.
This whole valley, looking at from here, is around 800 metres deep. So it's an amazing depth of valley, and very old, looking around the 95 million years as a mountaintop that's been eroded away and carved out all this sand. Down the bottom of the valley is fairly dense, ancient rainforest, and you're looking at cool temperate, so we can have snow on this forest system, which makes it a little unique. But koalas, kangaroos, You have all your typical Australian native animals, your wombats, lots of reptiles. So we've got all the big lizards, 7 foot long, about 2 metres, and a good population of snakes. Being a local snake rescuer, we do about probably 100 snake rescues a year, and most of those are in the venomous category, but they're all very friendly.
If snakes are a concern, you don't have to venture too far to learn a little bit more about the flora and fauna of the region. The gardens boast some interesting plants that are challenging to grow, as Kylie Adams has discovered.
I've been working here for just over 12 months. I'm the head gardener here and I'm really enjoying it. The guest inquiries are just phenomenal. Everyone's interested in what you're doing. I've been weeding or I've been pruning and I'll have people come up to me and say, "Can I have a go?" It's amazing. It's really good. We can get quite cold in winter, down to about -8, and we can also get up to about 36, 37 degrees in summertime, so it's quite a broad range of temperatures. It's very hard to try and find things that will tolerate growing in frosty conditions and also the hot in summer as well, so it's a good challenge.
I look after all of our corporate events, weddings and butler services and things like that. We want to give the guest something which is special, unique, and they can take it away, and that's what's important. So you've got to blend your butler service into what they're doing. You've got to know when to step back and when to come in, when to serve the champagne and discreetly make yourself scarce, and be ready with the glass of champagne when she says, "Yes, I will marry you."
Well, sadly, that's all we have time for. But thanks to comments like that, this hotel gets our world-class stamp of approval, which proves that it's really staff that makes a hotel special. And you can rest assured that for the rest of the series, our team will continue to find the very best of hotels, with, of course, the very best of staff from around the globe. So be sure to join us next time and travel in style with World Class.